Week 10 of the NFL. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Patriots and the Chiefs on EA Sports.
This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. 5 yards on the game's first play. 2nd down.
Defensively, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. The numbers for Travis Kelsey last week. 9 catches, 101 yards, and a score.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So here are the Patriots now in excellent field position to start things out. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week.
It's a nice completion, and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 69 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, "Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball."
On 2nd down now, Carrington. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Carrington. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The ball on the 8. Still could get a 1st down technically. 2nd and 7. They'll try the left side. Carrington. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Now Jones. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. The kick by Carlson is good, and the Patriots jump out to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Taken in at the 3. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The KC offense and Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting the ball back here. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, get a full game ahead of him, hand it to him again, see if they can start to produce. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot.
And this is caught inside the 5. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3. A big play there for KC.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
Oh, and Edwards-Helaire, I don't think he got there. He did not. They'll stop him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Butker's kick here is good. So 3 points on the board. As easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
So back onto the field come the Pats for their 2nd drive. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. This defense for the Chiefs, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Throwing Jones. It's caught by OBJ. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. These two teams all tied after one. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Off-play action. Jones. And this one is incomplete.
Many times when a play breaks down and the quarterback's moving around outside of the pocket, you're thinking just get rid of something short. But a lot of guys are coached, think deep, take the big shot, hoping someone can get lost behind the secondary. They weren't able to connect on that one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. It's caught. Beckham. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He completes it to Beckham. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Patriots have taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. That time a 9-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Yeah, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
On second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Mahomes looks to throw on third down. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
On first down, Mahomes. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On play action, it's Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelsey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point by Bucker is on target. And we are tied here in the second quarter. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. New England trying to get a place on offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going. Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Jones. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Patriots have moved out in front. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Travis Kelsey and the Chiefs set to take over again. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily. And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? You got to try to go with the quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Mahomes going to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. Butker's kick here is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
We got this.
Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. Jones on 1st and 10. This is Smith with a grab. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
Now Jones on 1st down. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. There's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. They'll look to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Off play action. Jones being chased out left. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
So we have reached halftime. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. From the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Patriots to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. They go play action here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
2nd and 10. To throw again. Jones. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Carrington. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Henderson will try and run for the first. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Jones now. Off play action. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. And remember, they had 2 last week in the win, obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Back to throw again. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. A big play there for New England.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Jones out to the flat, and that's caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Quintez Cephas. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors. This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield, and look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Flushed out, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. He couldn't get away there on third down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the Patriots take over. Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Oh, yeah. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Second down at 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Carrington, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. From the gun, Jones. And the Chiefs are going to get him. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing, the O-line coach will.
Let's go. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Patriots have it. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Jones. And that'll be incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. A third quarter action from Kansas City, 2nd down and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. Does the big boy have the juice? He's at the 40. The 20. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4. Mahomes now to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Butker's kick here is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
New England on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Jones. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he will have a Patriots 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Here's Jones throwing on 1st down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 2nd down, Carrington. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 85 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Legarius Sneed, and the Chiefs are right back in this football game. Now with that interception, you feel like we've got a ball game again. Remember, a two-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
Going up top. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. A big play there for KC. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5. Edwards-Helaire. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Again, Edwards-Helaire. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up fourth. So on fourth down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Off the bootleg, Jones. A quick throw, but incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes where people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Jones. He finds his man. Complete. That's long. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 3rd down, here's Henderson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. Henderson going to run for it. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. They'll roll him out right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Seventh play of this drive coming up, and a long way to go on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. Patrick Mahomes in the offense. Down by 8. A little over a minute and a half remaining. Needing to go pretty much the length of the football field as they have it 1st and 10. Mahomes. Finding Kelsey, and he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
He's going to let it fly. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Mahomes. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. Mahomes. Pass complete to Edwards-Helaire. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Here's Mahomes. Completes it to Hardman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Mahomes will throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride. Mahomes. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now one more shot at it. Obviously, again, they've got to go for the end zone. Well, we've seen it happen before. How about Aaron Rodgers throughout his career? He seems to pull it off about every other week. But if I'm the defense, I'm rushing the quarter. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. But, Charles, a one-score game. Down to the end we went. They had one final.